Ladies and gentlemen, I am your planetary defense commander, Star-Lord Nuthor 7, and this super mega monster, massive creature that is in the Pacific Ocean is totally legit. I'm messing around, man. It may sound like it. I might even be jovial at times. We're talking about a giant storm system that has a pressure of 933 millibars to anywhere to like 945. You could throw a dart at the donkey's tail on that one if you want to. So that's about a category 4 hurricane, man. Right? So I had to run a bunch of errands and jump through a bunch of hoops yesterday and went for a walk and had a busy full day, which started with my power getting cut off. It's peaks and valleys, man. Peaks and valleys. So when I get back, when I unwind after cleaning my apartment for like 4 or 5 hours, Cranky is obsessed with the storm, and rightly so. They're like beautiful women. They can be extremely dangerous, and sometimes you just can't look away. But boom, look at that crazy mofo undergo super mega bombogenesis in a very short amount of time. The Crankster has a blog up for today if you want to take a look at it. We got a storm coming up on the East Coast over the weekend as well. It was like, oh my God, it's going to be a big storm. And now the models are like, nope, it's not. But that's a couple days away. And they sure as hell didn't have this one pegged a few days ago. I think I might have said it with bombogenesis, or it was the one in front of it. I can't remember. Remember, one of the reasons that I've been harping on the West Coast and the storms for like 10 days or so is because this is a wave after wave after wave after wave after wave pattern. And I'm not even sure we're halfway through. No, we're not. So if you want to check out Cranky Weather Guy's blog, it's at stormhamster.com. Entry 2 for today's date. Sound good? Fantastic. Now we're going to look at the sun together. I don't know if you can handle that. Man, some people are like, the sun is a light bulb. It never changes. It's always the same. It puts out like 35 planet watts a day, and we're all good. And that's not the case. The sun is like magical, mystical. I think the sun is leveled up, and humanity is not. So we need to get on that shit pronto. Oh yeah, I guess I'm de facto president today too. And let me just say, man, ma'am, is anybody paying attention? A wall from the 1400s is not what we're looking for here. What we're looking for is we have to change with the sun. And the sun is changing. Our solar system is changing. Our mother fudging galaxy is changing. You know who's been spazzing out a lot? Our galactic black hole asterisk, Sagittarius A, the star. The star is there in the middle of the galaxy. Yep, they've been doing pulsar shit and magnetar shit and strange shit and unexplained shit for a couple years now. And then when a giant cloud of molecular dust was flying by the old black hole, it didn't go into the black hole. I was like, hey, that's really weird. That's not exactly what's supposed to happen in black hole physics. But few could be bothered with the happenings at Sagittarius A. Because people like things that are local. When I say local, I mean politics. Okay, so we're switching from the sun. What happens is the sun has many ways to pour energy into her babies. And her babies are the planets. And so the coronal holes you get in a solar minimum will feed her babies with auroras and fast solar wind. And so this is one grown baby. And yeah, I'm talking about Earth. Noticed any volcanoes in the last year that you happen to see or hear on the news? Or tsunamis or earthquakes and stuff? Yep, that's right. There's a chance that science and government have been spending so much time selling you Coca-Cola and Pepsi and RC that they may not have gotten all the facts right or the theories right. Because the theory is just a low-grade, hypothesis? Dang. I gotta go look at my notes. What was I talking about? Oh, yep. So this massive, giant, like, crazy face storm is going on in the Pacific. And weirdly enough, I tried to tell everybody, because I have post-traumatic stress disorder asterisk from being in Hurricane Harvey, and I left. I went to Dallas, but it was still a weird thing. That happened 5 days after the eclipse. So we had the big eclipse. I was like, whoa, there's a lot of energy coming in. If we don't take this and turn it into wonderful rock and roll and good times, shit is going to get fucked up. And everybody thought I was crazy. I was like, all right. And then 5 days later, wham. This city got hit with over 50 inches of rain over a whole lot of territory. And there are a lot of houses here that haven't recovered and are still husks of homes. And the homeless population has doubled, if not more. Because I put on my Batman hoodie and I walk around the city every once in a while. And I walk through the homeless parts. And yep, I think homelessness is increasing everywhere, especially in UK, wherever the Brexit shit is going on. Like, their homeless population has gone up 25%. I definitely think in a place that got hit by a hurricane, and that's 6 of them in the United States or in its territories in the last 2 years, that the homeless rate goes way up. Which is why, look, man, I talk about the issues, okay? And that the idea we have so many workers working but not getting a paycheck, that is super lame. That's what I've been doing basically for the last 2 years. I'm gonna give my basics covered, so at least I'm lucky there. You guys have taken good care of me, and you have helped me make sure that I keep Thor News up and running. I hear a lot of people are saying, look, we've gone 4 weeks without a paycheck. We don't know how to make rent. And that is the sad state of the economy, is that since 2008, when the United States of America, Bush and Obama, and everybody else who's in fucking Congress, man, gave 0% interest rates and free money to the big banks and the primary dealers. Well, if you wanted to make a lot of money, the real only way to do that was in the stock market or Bitcoin. It's like in the 80s at a 15% savings rate, interest rate. So if you put in $1,000 in your savings account, at the end of the year, the bank paid you $150. That is wild. And now it's like 2,
So if you leave $100 in, your bank will pay you $2, $20. I don't even know if they do that anymore. And then they pile fees on top of it. What is this horrible popping noise? Oh, crap. Earth is a big snow globe. Rosebud. And AS5, 2019. Grazed by Earth. Just by the hair in our teeth. 2019. It looks like ass, though. Totally. And here's our thingy. And everybody, like, PP is better at looking at this than I am. Heck, I think Sheila Aliens is better at looking at this than I am. Suspicious observers, definitely. But I can look at it and be like, holy crap, we're getting blasted. Now, the magnetic field doesn't look too tangled. But it definitely looks like the front side of the shield is getting blasted. So, expect atmospheric wackiness. Speaking of atmospheric wackiness, we're talking about, I don't know, does someone want to name the storm? You guys in chat, go ahead and look at that strange bra. And it's like lungs, man. It's like you can see Earth's lungs through the low pressure. And that is fascinating. And what is the high pressure here doing? I got no clue. Okay. Glad we had this chat. We've already done this. Did you see these? There's a video of this out there. When I got all the shit edited, I will show it to you, but somehow that does not happen. I would look it up. This shit is crazy. It's like I'm saying the whole world is in 7D now, and we're still stuck in like 1993. And as your planetary defense commander and de facto alternate president, King of America, we need to be building cities in the safe spots in the Americas. And that's just the way it is, man. From Alaska to Canada, down the middle of the pipe, and then we build a superhighway in the safest spots. I don't think the coasts are going to be safe for the next 6 years, bro. That's all around the fucking world, man. And I know that the media and the internets and the YouTube has sold y'all that, like, man is all powerful and he controls all this shit. That's not true. And so I'm pretty sure there's a planetary process, bro. And Sage used to say, you know, white papers say that scientists will be the ones that had the hardest time accepting what they thought was true is not true. I was like, oh, dang. Would they be better at it than telling jokes? I was stereotyping scientists as not funny. I shouldn't have done that. Okay, so we're looking at, almost looks like an Ring of Fire eclipse. See that? That's crazy. It's a perfect circle of pressure in our atmosphere. That ain't freaking carbon, bro. Carbon is not pressing on our inner and outer atmosphere that hard. but it does look like an old school Madonna bra. You don't have to agree with that. See, look at that right there. And she got like 3 shapes right there. And if you've been with us before, all the gas giants are on the same side of the sun. It affects things in a very interesting way, which usually means Earth gets terraformed or sculpted with volcanoes and earthquakes and changes in probably even the magnetic field in the North Pole. Why am I doing this? Oh, yeah. And so we should adapt to it. That's been my stance. Not a very popular one, though. Okay, so all the gas giants are on that side. And so we're not balanced properly. And if you even look at it like we're running the flank over here with Earth, the Moon, Mars, Uranus. And so we don't fully understand everything, man. I know science likes to be like, we know everything. We have the Hubble. But there's not always truth in advertising. And so if you look at this with me, right? Whoa. Now look, it's almost like the 3. That looks like a planet. That looks like a planet. And that almost looks like a planet. So it's just very interesting how they're almost oh, that looks like a fish. Yeah, this is crazy shit. And oh yeah, I haven't even got to the bread and the butter. So it's like I've seen anywhere from 47-foot waves. Earlier they had 55-foot waves. And the bad news is, it looks like this is going to bring a whole lot of rain into the West Coast. And so I'm obsessing about that storm, and there's still a storm in front of that storm, West Coast. That is like Alaska and Washington, Oregon, California, Mexico. Now, when I've been watching the models, it's hard for me to even time it because just a bunch of crazy wild stuff happens. And then it was almost like a boxer. And so the storms are going to come up and undercut 1-2 punch South California like 4 times in a row. Like, it's very odd. So the storm that I and we, Weather Twitter, Crinkle Weather Guy, are obsessed with is this one. And rightly so. I can't remember seeing a monster that massive. Nobody knows what it's going to do, man. Because they didn't know it was going to be like this 24 hours ago. And so we've still got a storm in front of it. And the worst of the precipitation over the last 2.5 storms has gone north, I believe. Although Highway 1 keeps getting beat up. And there's more where that came from. So, yeah, it takes, 8 days, even 7 days for this to hit. And right now the models have this going north into like Alaska. But man, I don't trust the models. Okay. So we're going to watch the GFS V3. And for this run, you can focus on whatever you want to. I'm going to light a cigarette. And if you're on the East Coast, feel free. Watch the storms that come out of the south and then go up the East Coast. But what the heck is going on by California. I mean, it has the mega massive storm almost completely getting pulled up into Alaska. And then all these like 4 tiny little bubble storms come and hit Southern California. Which doesn't really make any sense to me, and I've never seen that happen. Doesn't mean it can't happen. In my magma movement theory that worked well before the big erupting volcano in Hawaii in 2018 was that rain, like, it follows wildfires that look like they might be over volcanic areas. Mother Nature's going to cool herself down. And so I'm thinking 2 wildfire areas from the Woolsey Fire and Paradise, they're probably going to get heavy rain totals over these next 2 or 3 storms. And that so the mud is going to be a problem. And the landslide is going to be a problem. Who knows? Maybe Superman will zap it with his heat vision. See how it just kind of disappears up there? That don't make no sense. The low stays, but it kicks the moisture. And then did you guys see the size of that rain band that was over the middle of the United States? Crazy. Crazy days indeed, my friends. Look at that. Nasty. Yeah, so in my vision for the future of America and the Americas, technically everyone who can possibly be trained as a first responder should be trained as a first responder, and that we should start working together to build cities of the future with new technologies, new plastics, new metals, even the shit where you 3D print stuff in a vacuum so it's like you can have glass stronger than iron. The fact that, like, oh wow, hey, we can build stuff underground. Did you know that? True story. And then just cities that you can design from scratch in safe places because the earth is changing. To build all this stuff, everybody's gonna have to pitch in. To clean the fucking oceans, everybody's gonna have to pitch in. We've lost like 70% of our animals on our planet, and now we're losing the monarch butterfly. Everybody's got to pitch in. You know, from like the 80s to last year, it was that, like, greed is God, greed is good, money, 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 money. And I can't even tell you, the last like 3 years, every time I go out, when I'm out alone, wandering around like a pariah, but also like Bruce Wayne, listening, paying attention, watching for the signs and signals. Everybody always talks about money. And the monetary base has gone up exponentially worldwide since they depegged the dollar from gold. And if everyone's heart's desires to be a billionaire, well, that happens in a hyperinflationary event. Everybody's a billionaire. But bread costs $1 trillion. So, yeah, dude, the wall is a dumb idea. And I said that in 2017 before we got hit by any hurricanes. We've been hit by 6 hurricanes since I said the wall is a bad idea. We all have to work together as Americans, Canadians. I mean, the corporations trade freely amongst each other, but the people are not allowed to. I mean, we're all one giant family. I know that's hard for you to believe, but it's true. See, I don't even want to start talking about dead peasants insurance. But I am. Alright, Wikipedia. Corporate owned life insurance. It's where a corporation can take out a policy on an employee, and then if that employee dies, the corporation, if he's a $20,000 employee, they can get paid like 400 grand. That shit should have never been legal. But it became big in 2014, and a bunch of tons of major corporations are heavily invested in it. Right? So, like, let's say this thing goes souther than models predict, and it hits Los Angeles. Let's say, there have been 2 times on Earth that over 1 million people have died in weather events. The other 2 were in China in the 1800s when the gas giants were on the same side. And so, like, let's say you get, 200,000 people who die in Los Angeles because of a massive flood storm hurricane that nobody saw coming. Well, there's a chance that 20% of those people might be corporate owned insurance. They really clamped down on the who could check, who could do what. So, just saying, if behind the scenes corporations are investing in corporate owned life insurance, and Republicans and Democrats are dying on a hill over a Genghis Khan wall isn't going to solve any problems, then that's a bad sign. And that, man, I've been dreaming of building cities of the future my whole life. I mean, I thought that's what we were going to do, When you were a kid, they showed us the Jetsons. You had jetpacks. Everybody had nice teeth. There were no homeless people. Okay, so earlier I had this crazy idea that, like, man, if we're really going to run one that, what can we do to make a difference? So I went for a walk, and I went to the park, and here was a gutter drain by the bayou. And I had to fish all the leaves out of there. There are things everyone can do in their cities to make sure that the floods that will happen won't be anywhere near as bad. And when people said before to me, like, what can we do to deal with hurricanes better? And I've said that it's water. It's like volumes of water, and water always takes the path of least resistance. You can control the water flow, and you just want to control it to where it doesn't go where the people in homes are. And so it would appear Houston has been coming up with some of those great ideas too, to where the more space you have for the water to go in places and areas you want it to go, then the less flooding you'll have. I mean, all the major cities are like zoning law patchwork clusterfucks. I mean, they're beautiful, wonderful things. Almost no one loves the city more than I do. But they're all based on like Band-Aid, like Lego. Everybody's just adding on top of it. If you built the city from scratch, I mean, it's never been done before. And it would be amazing, and it's exactly what we need. And I would guess that if all the technology's on the table, you could easily build a big structure that could withstand 300-mile-per-hour winds, sit it right at the coast. Hey, look, that's a V. Do you see that? It is. And this is 3-hour precipitable water, so the storm behind this one is super, super chunky. Our Floridian wave master and a surfer, Dadabu GFS, unveils the mask. Hashtag fucking Loki. Swell coming. Hearts for everyone. Sweet. Just what I wanted, an internet heart. It's only a little better than an internet hug or an internet kiss. But thanks, Dada Boo. You're an Asteroid Fight Club All-Star. Beginning to show up in the 48-hour Atlantic swell forecast. So not only are we watching the giant storm on the west coast, we're watching it on the east coast coming this weekend. For weather purposes, I recommend being on Twitter and following all the weather Twitter all-stars. Because our team is good and works as well together as any team out there. And hey, the Bishop from KHOU in Houston. On this day, January 10th, 1901, oil was discovered at the Spindletop field near Beaumont, Texas. And the rest is our history. Texaco, Gulf, Exxon, etc. were all born there. Oil and gas discoveries in Texas revolutionized American transport and industry. Yes. I'm looking forward to the next phase, though. You know, like where marijuana is legal, where we don't have, and that's another thing. And I just can't get over the damn wall, man. Like, we have for-profit prisons, okay? We have for-profit prisons. I don't even think they had that shit in the Spanish Inquisition. And so our Christian nation, which has had marijuana be illegal since the, mid 30s? And even though the Bible, I think it's Genesis paragraph 3, the third paragraph in the Bible says, I, God, give you all green seed-bearing plants. And somehow, they're like, oh, no. You guys are reading that funny. Marijuana should be illegal. So boom. And we used to write everything on hemp, including I believe, our Constitution was on hemp. They legalized marijuana. And then they started cutting down trees to write on trees. Whereas marijuana is like a plant. A tree is a much more stable, long game thing. Trees are amazing. Trees are magic. And so, yeah, I'm ready for the Renaissance. You know? I'm ready for the next stage. Because not only have we been trapped in like 1990, technically we've been trapped in like 1901. If you watch any of the videos I made on Venezuela from the old documentaries from the 50s and 60s, the documentaries say that, oddly enough, somewhere near the end of the Spanish Inquisition, Spain and France, I think it was Italy, sent a bunch of people over here looking for gold, but they ended up finding black gold, oil. And so, Sun Tzu, who wrote The Art of War, said, war is based on deception. It's the foundation of war. And that in a unregulated capitalist system, or basically any fiat system, The economy is war. That's why, like, America's been fighting with itself. Cutthroat, cold civil war over social media. Because that's what our economy is based on. But guess what? Tables turn and things change. If we don't adapt to this shit, we're in deep trouble. And man, the sun has been asking for rock and roll to return for like 4 years now. And people are like, no. We have master plan. We have, I don't even know. But are you watching that? That is the face of the sun. And the thing about the sun is the subtleties. Do you see any activity happening anywhere? Like, do you remember when you were a teenager? And all of a sudden you would just get real pimply? Imagine if the corona was the sun's skin. If the skin on your face were doing that, would you say your skin was active? Because the sun isn't usually snapping and cracking and popping like that this much. Not necessarily any big motions, just a little bit everywhere. Look at that thing. Is that the right eye or the left eye? Man, I don't even know. Yeah, and you remember when the Supreme Court was like, corporations are people? I was like, that is the creepiest shit I ever heard. And it was like, oh, Supreme Court. Yeah, build a wall. And corporations are people. I don't know, crazy days, man. And so here we're looking at, over the next 2 weeks, anywhere from 6 inches to up to 20 inches of rain in certain spots of southern, central, north, and east California, up into southern Oregon, backside Oregon, and then parts of Washington and BC. And here's the GFS, which is saying that these parts of California could be getting 10 to 20 inches of rain over the next 2 weeks. Really close to the place where the Woolsey fires happened. All right. Right now, we only have 136 river flooding. So yay. But they're all kind of bunched up, so it's a bit troublesome. And Edgar Casey's map went from like here to here, so it's definitely troublesome. And it's why I obsess about him. Oh, did I mention it's 5 days after the eclipse? It's literally like 5 days after the eclipse. And that was when Harvey just was like, boom, here I am. What are you wearing? That thing is, I mean, it's a magnificent work of art. And you know, I've been talking about the end game for 20, 25 years, possibly longer. And at this point, I'm guessing it's Occam's razor. That it really is just a greed hydra. And nobody has all the information. Except for maybe me. And then I'm saying, hey, we all need to work as one family. Put all the ideas and inventions on the table. Give up our old shitty caveman ways of torturing your own brothers and sisters to make a buck. And continue to move civilization forward. Instead of being an oil war and deception economy. I mean, hyperinflation has happened to all 33 fiat currencies throughout the history of mankind. It happens when they print too much of that currency. We have a $23 trillion debt and a government that is shut down because it can't figure out how much more it wants to borrow. And I have no problem with at this point, we've all inherited the system. We all inherited this economy. In the last 100 years, nobody had a fresh slate, a clean slate. My question is, of the 20 trillion we spent in 18 years, where did that money go? When I'm talking about building a super city of the future, when I'm talking about building a super highway that is both above and below ground that runs from Russia along Alaska, down through Canada, down the Rocky Mountains, down all the way Mexico, into South America, into Antarctica. I could probably have built 10 super cities of the future. And that highway for $10 trillion. And if we got it at cost, holy smokes. So that's what I'm wondering. Where did all that money go? I would guess some of it's in the sky. I would guess some of it's in the ground. But I would also guess that money's not the thing that's going to keep humanity safe right now. Who knows? What are you doing? And I feel like a lot of people believe that we will have a chance to take a new direction after people are woken up by a major tragedy. And we're talking the city, like eye-popping numbers of dead people. And I've always thought we could get there without that ever happening. Well, there's still a chance, you know? The only thing preventing us from working together is us. Why are we fighting? Are we even really fighting? Let me ask you this. As your de facto alternate president, planetary defense commander, king of America, if you took a vote from every single human being on Earth, and you said, do you want war? Yes. Do you want war? No. Or, choose yes if you want war. You can pick who you want to war against. If people were given a choice to have war or not, what percentage of the people on the planet do you think would choose war? I would guess like 80% of the people would choose, hey, no, I don't need a war with anybody. My life can be a mostly good party all the time, and I'm okay with that. You know? I can live without people getting killed by drones. But it is like the Matrix, where they've literally convinced everybody that, like, you have to have war to survive. Like, mankind has to have war to survive. There's no way mankind can survive without war. I'm like, whoa, no. And even JFK said, yo, dude, we can't go to war again. Even Einstein said it. Like, the next war will be the end of all things. Because imagine the last time we had a real semi-open and the public war was in the 40s with Hitler and the atom bomb. That was like 70 years ago. 80 years ago. The destructive technologies they have today are way more destructive. I can guarantee you. I need to cheer up, get my sense of humor back. Yeah, I know. And remember, we've been watching this process happen. Like, the weirdest shit most of the time has been happening in the Northern Pacific. Anthony Macelio has done a great job tracking it, as if a lot of people. I don't even know. Like, sometimes I wish I didn't have to beg for nickels and pennies all the time, to where like they had to come. They cut my power off yesterday. I had to go beg for them to keep it on for 3 more days so I could raise money. What was my point? Oh yeah. So like, if I had like the Alex Jones budget he had before they censored him, and I could go on the street and ask people questions, like I had my team. I had my Leanne McAdoo, just an attractive, smart lady. And then we'd go ask people questions. I would ask people, are volcanoes erupting in Alaska right now? And I would guess most people don't know that multiple volcanoes have been erupting in Alaska over the last 2 years, especially in 2017. The Cleveland volcano, I think, went off like 13 times. What am I looking at? Dang it, now I'm all over the place. Well, here's a cute chibi. Like Brexit. Some dude right before he left, I remember which one, was like, hey, you guys want to vote to leave the EU? And then they did. And they're like, wait. We hadn't thought this out. And so I keep saying that Brexit is like a metaphor for everything. Like, no government has a long-term plan or a medium-term plan for the people. They're going to give them shitty half-ass solutions of distraction. And the only thing that I've gone to the mat to call Trump out on twice was A, is handling of Puerto Rico, and B, the wall. And I said the wall was a dumb idea before we got hit by 6 hurricanes and before we had some major volcano eruptions in the last 2 years. I said it from an engineering standpoint. If we want to survive, we need to stop having the word carbon and climate change, stop any discussions of how to prepare for what we have to deal with. And adapt to it. From France. Oh yeah, Italy's volcano. It's crazy. Has anybody out there seen the sun do some wild stuff with their own eyes in the last 3 years? I know I have. It's kind of strong. Yeah, earlier it had over 100 mile per hour winds. And if its pressure is 937, that makes it a category 4 hurricane type strength with wind speeds of 130 to 156 miles an hour. Capable of storm surge of 13 to 18 feet. And earlier it had like 55-foot waves. I feel like government shutdown is the king of America. Is a good time for me to take charge more. And I'd love to. But, I don't know, I need some more inspiration. I feel like I'm getting the crap kicked out of me all the time. Why do all the people who like people to be unhappy have all the power? Right now, anyways. Although things have calmed down. Things were super major shitty up until the election. Remember that? And it definitely is much more civil and better today in the last few weeks than it has been. From 2016 straight up to those stupid ass elections. I didn't vote in either one, by the way. Alright, if people are like, I don't know, do you want me to go back to the oil guy? Give a dissertation on oil war and Sun Tzu? Corporate insurance? Man, I gotta cheer up. I mean, I'm not uncheered, it's just... Whoa. That's crazy. It's like a big tennis ball. So we're getting north and south filament action on the hemispheres. And that sun is active. It's almost making me feel like I'm famous. And a bunch of people in the sun are taking my picture. Like I was at the Golden Globes. Awards for movies are stupid, though, in my opinion. As one of the greatest screenwriters on the planet. And technically, it's advertising they get to write off the movie studios and the record companies back when we had record companies. Before Disney owned it all. Whoa. Did you see what's happening at the bottom? change color. Those top and bottom spots are different looking than normal. Yeah, look at the pulse at the bottom. Crazy. Whoa. Did we just catch some live time? Geo-effective solar flare? Coronal mass ejection? I think we did. I think Earth just spitted it. I mean, the sun just spitted us. Like I said, the sun can hear people. The sun can hear your thoughts. The sun remembers when you were born. So, when every creature and majority of human beings are arguing all the time, it drives the sun crazy. At a time where our star field is having a big dance, is not a good time to be driving our home star crazy. So that is crazy. See, I don't even know how they can do that. Like, they're like, okay, we got a bunch of planets in our solar system. And, like, Jupiter is over 10,000 times the size of Earth. And that all the inner solar system planets are tiny compared to the gas giants. And that they all spin around the sun. But that where the planets are in relation to each other and the sun have no real effect on anything. I mean, that is crazy. I don't think Isaac Newton said that shit. I think he actually created some laws that would disagree with that shit. And technically, if I weren't under fire all the time and didn't spend a lot of my time putting out fires, dealing with hackers, I could probably figure out what happens when, or like how the alignments are affecting us and will affect us. But it's like somebody doesn't want me to know. Look at that. Look how they're in a. I don't know, the solar system's a beautiful, magical place. Notice that one line, and then there's your middle flank. It's so cool. It is also weird to think, you know, when we were more primitive, and the industrial age hadn't really taken place, and I guess, you know, anything pre-Jesus. The majority of the religions and cultures worship the sun and the moon. But then as civilization started to grow and become quote-unquote more advanced, science and religion were like, nah, the sun's a bad guy. Or the sun's a light bulb. And that anyone who likes the sun or says the sun has feelings is evil. I'm like, oh, wow. Well, as a North Jedi Christian, the actual sun has always been my favorite symbol for the Son of God, Jesus Christ, who shines with light, love, and magic. And so, yeah, I don't know. So, then science helped those oil companies pull out 1 trillion cubic feet of oil over the last 120 years. And then science turned around and pointed the finger at us. It was like, you assholes are using too much carbon. You're going to kill us all. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Can you see a woman in the cloud watcher? That's wild. She's creating something with her hand. And I'm not here to judge over the last 100 years how we got from A to Z. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to prosecute oil companies or try and penalize them for past actions. And, both political parties have been trying to get their parties to focus on, we are going to throw Hillary in jail, or we are going to impeach Trump. Where the public's job is not to play judge, jury, and executioner. When they did that, they had the town squares, and they would put people in the little torture machines, and where they hang their head to the thing in their hands, and people can throw, they could even rape them. They were, anytime you get the public in to abuse the quote unquote criminals, it's bad. It's very Spanish Inquisition-y. And so we've been on this trend of wanting to punish literally like our standing officials the second they get in office. And the media and the politicians themselves run with it. And that's really dangerous. And there's definitely a woman in that RGB water vapor. So my point is trying to figure out who exactly to blame for wild, like what person or what group is to blame for the state of affairs today or the last 5 to 10,000 years is ridiculous. And I would guess other planets out there have made it to Civilization 1A before us. So it's totally possible. But if the tree rings are right, we borked the pig on Mars, and then we borked the pig in Lemuria, and then we borked the pig in Atlantis. So this would be like the 5th time. So I'd like to think that it's not genetic or a bad simulation. Can you imagine if it was a bad simulation and it just had really mean programmers? That would be so lame. Nah, I don't believe that. I don't think bad programmers create cute kittens. Man, somebody needs to jumpstart romance again. So yeah, big storms. Massive. Shit is crazy. I'm asking you to be cool if you can. Not everybody can. And there's the one over Europe. And that one is troubling as well. Or concerning. 47-foot waves. Let's look at the wind. Boom. Let's go to wind gusts. Boom. This right now. Where'd you go? And this is European. Why won't you give me my quickie? No good. That looks like an eyeball. A magical missile. See, so the GFS has like part of it going west, and then the low going north. I don't know, man. I've been watching this like a hawk, like it were my girlfriend's booty for the last 5 or 6 years. And technically, a few of us have been talking about the jet weirding that has been going on there for, I don't know, 2 months now. Cranky's been talking about it for a lot longer. It's like a whole shower curtain of rain. And then the straight up bar, I don't even know what that is. This is like a puzzle I gotta solve. Okay, we're gonna watch the GFS. How long have I been up? Going live is weird. I mean, that storm is like 70%. At its height, it was like 70% of the Pacific Ocean. Another thing that's kind of weird is it teaches that the hurricanes are caused by the heat, and that 937 storm with hurricane-like pressures, it itself is 44 degrees, and the area it's over is like 31 degrees. And look, it's like the process that carved out that coast from Alaska down into Washington. It's kind of like these planets have gone around, 1,000 times, and every time it does, it carves up Mother Nature a little more. And I don't think it's a crustal displacement event. I don't think it's a super volcano erupting. I don't think it's a humanity ender. And the fact that we're going to try and pretend it's the 1900s might end us, but whoa. I'm in the spirit world, man. Boom. Yeah, the sun is pretty active. And I don't know if you know this. Before I was obsessed with the weather, I was obsessed with the sun. And that's where I came up with my when the sun acts weird, Earth weather acts weird, and people act weird. And I just keep amending it. Like, sure, yeah, eclipses make the weather get extra wacky because it's 5 days after this eclipse, and we have that giant system in the Pacific. And I'm talking like I don't even have a sense of humor. I know, but I gotta confess. I'm a 47-year-old white male. So, like, literally, social media and the media are like, you're never gonna get to date anyone again. You don't deserve it. I'm like, what? This is crazy. And it's stupid. I don't like it. People like, tough shit. You will pay for the sins of all horrible white people before you. I'm like, yeah, but if the Spanish, Italy, France, and the UK came over here and started this Spanish Inquisition, deception, oil and war economy, and they made it look like we had freedom, how the hell am I getting blamed? You know? And I think back to that. Wow, that's a lot of moisture. Wouldn't you agree? Maybe. I want to check earthquakes. What time is it? 107. Yesterday, I woke up about this time with all my power off. And you can always tell when the power's off because the ceiling fan is not spinning and everything's quieter. Like, damn it. Okay, so we're watching the level of moisture that comes out of the strip. It's a lot over the East Coast. But what is going on in the Pacific? I do not know. That almost looked like a comet. Another thing, I got in this game. I think my first video was Comet Elenin. And then I got Ison. Oh, lordy. And then they came out with Comet, was it 2017 K2? And the specs on that thing are like ridiculous. Like, yeah, we found it like 15 years out. And they got anyway, it's just a lot of things are happening in our solar system, I think. And then they find like a new planet X every single day or every single week. And then they're like, well, to punish all the toxic masculinity that's been in science, we're not going to put up any new telescopes where the people could enjoy seeing all these things in modern technology, more advanced than the Hubble that was put up in 1995. Like, yeah, we gotta stop the age of punishment. Pretty sure in a post 9/11 world, we've all been punished pretty severely. Yeah, what is the ocean doing? I don't even know. Yeah, that is not good at all. And so that giant storm and all that moisture is heading into the United States one way or another. Because even if it gets pulled up, then it gets dragged back down through the jet stream. And due to the planetary angular orbital momentum, we're going to have this shit happening for like the next 6 years. So yeah, that's going to be a big, bad, nasty rain band. But that is like exactly 2 weeks away. So who knows? And so, I remember we had the 7.4 earthquake in Alaska where it's kind of headed. And the eclipse went right over it. Like the eclipse ended right on the Aleutian Islands. We really know so little about our planet and our universe. But look at those. That right there. Yeah, I think this is a natural process. And the fact that, so many of the cultures and religions of the pictures they drew with the eyes and like us Norwegians drew the, what is it, divine golden alchemy symbol. I'm not good with words. But look, that's a lot of moisture blowing into BC. And that's a lot of moisture blowing into the Aleutian Islands. And so this one is not even supposed to be going into California. All the storms are coming from California. They somehow like pop out of, like, this goes straight up, but the moisture, I don't even know. Like, I've been trying to figure this shit out. It's weird. It's definitely weird. I'm scared to look at the chat just because I don't know. I'm not really scared to look at the chat. I'm scared women might be in there. Ladies love me, girlies adore me, even the ones that never even saw me. It's a rap song. Okay. Oh yeah, here we go. Because earlier, like, 7 of these frames were missing. So this will be exciting for both of us. Okay, but now we're going to count together, you and I. Let's count how many storms are going to hit the West Coast. Okay, so there's one. Boom. And there's 2. That counts as 2. Boom. We'll let that still count as 2. Then that one's seems to be a different one. There's 3 right there, smack. And that's like the uppercut that I'm talking about. And notice there's a line of 3 of them right there. 1, 2, 3. So right now we're on 3. And the third one's an uppercut. And that one looks like it's going to get pulled north, but then breaks the connection and then heads for the same spot. Watch. Boom. Like a boxer. Punches right in the face. Storm number 4. And are we done yet? No. But that one hits more in Washington, although it's big enough to stripe from here down into Northern California. So technically, that's 5. That's storm 5. And then that one goes there. So that's 5 storms hitting California in 12 days. And, shoot chucks. I got obsessed with this storm. I did. 33 minutes. That one sounds perfect. Okay, if you watch how there's this circly thing right here, it's big, and then there's a little one, but they're both totally like connected. Watch. Oh, dag nabbit. See? 1, 2. See how they're. What else we got here? But look at those red areas of mean sea level pressure. That's a lot. And the fact that these two are defined and kind of look like the very earliest quote unquote pictures that were leaked of Nibiru or Planet X. I mean, there were really photos that look like that. And yeah, sure, it looks like boobs. Nipples. So that's like in the heart of the new Cali cane, or Alaskan cane. Call it whatever you'd like. I won't get mad at you. See, there's the little hole in it, and it's got the. That one's got more of a tail. That's the one over England. Did you know, like Austria and Germany had big problems with snow, like 7 feet in some areas? I think even on just a storm in the middle of the week, that in the United States, like 6 people died in wrecks due to ice and snow. I just think we could be doing way better. And it looks like a G and an M, but the M kind of ends in a J. GMJ? What does that mean? Man, my sense of humor sure fell off a cliff. Yeah, that definitely looks like boobs. Right in your face. Mean sea level pressure boobs. But that's. I mean, don't remember seeing one like that before. Whoa, whoa, yo. Yeah, so. Almost looks like the drain in your bathtub. There's a lot of water in there. It's like a little dinosaur. It's a Loch Ness monster. I found it. He's in total cloud water. So this is the point where this is like 30 degrees. And then this is like 45 degrees. See that? This is like 31 degrees. And this is like 45 degrees. So it would appear that something outside is creating the pressure. Like planets and stars, brown dwarfs. There's total cloud water. That's a lot, man. Almost looks like a elephant shark. And they remember everything. Oh, and if I am acting weird, it's probably because it's eclipse season. This one took me a while. There's crazy shit. Oh, the bottom was. Yeah, the wall's a bad idea. It's not even a real idea. Oh, there we go. 54.4 feet. Waves. Wave after wave after wave. I mean, granted, it's out in the middle of the Pacific, but just this storm has been impressive. It is impressive to say the least. And let's go back to Cranky's amazing wisdom is when he basically said, hey, like, sure grew up fast, and the models didn't have it like that, man. Like, 1, 2, 3, category 4. I guess it's 4 steps, but it's like 1, 2, 3, category 4. Like, what's the name of storm? Then it was like Pombo Supergenesis. But it does look like it's headed towards Alaska. But like I'm saying, regardless, the models show the West Coast and even Southern California taking the brunt of the hits for the next first week. So even like, let's go over together if anybody's still watching. So watch. So here's all the moisture from that storm. So this is the storm in front of it. And so the low pressure goes into Alaska, but it almost flings the moisture forward. So yeah, it flings the moisture forward, and then that moisture somehow ends up under California. And then that's where the path is created, where like most of the other moisture then follows soon after. See that? And then it reshifts on the 19th and starts to go back up north again. But 9 days away, we don't know what the heck's gonna happen. It almost creates a wishbone right there. Look at that. Is anything major happen in the world that I missed? Hey, look, alien spaceships disguised as clouds. I'm sorry, I mean lenticular clouds. Not really worried about the aliens. Not really worried about the artificial intelligence. It's people, man. Calvin and Hobbes. I love Calvin and Hobbes. Everyone makes the wrong kind of New Year's resolution. All they do is promise to stop bad habits and start good habits. What's wrong with that? It's not enough to change a few little habits. Everybody I know needs a complete personality overhaul. That's why I'll be spending the remaining days of this year telling people what I hate about them. Whoa, Calvin. And how they should change. So Calvin's like the internet. Some of us would be happy to reciprocate. Sorry, my New Year's resolution is not to change a bit. It is better to reciprocate kisses than hate. But I don't know, man. What do I know? Alright. I'm gonna have to step up my game and explain to everybody why the wall is a stupid ass idea. The hero's journey. You are the hero in your own life. Some parts are hard on purpose. No way. Just keep walking. The only way out is through. Yeah, but when did the hugs and kisses show up? All barriers and blockages for love will be triggered until they are gone. The only way out is through. There's no going back. That's for sure. And Isaac Newton said, we need to build more bridges and fewer walls. Twitter is definitely the place for the best up-to-date weather, earthquake, and volcano information. Although between the cracks is a lot of stuff that the France, Spain, United Kingdom conglomerate want you to know. I guess, but I heard they're changing monarchs or something. On this day in 1946, space history was made as the U.S. Army bounced radar signals up the Earth's moon for the first time ever, known as Project Diana. This was the first experiment in radio astronomy. Diana is the name of Wonder Woman. Oh yeah, and then Beto O'Rourke was on getting his molar jacked or some shit. You freed me. Why were you imprisoned? I used Kali as my primary operating system and called myself 1337. Thanks again. Huh. I love it when I get subtweeted. I'm sure that has nothing to do with me, though. Whoa. Pile of 21 bodies found in North Mexico after gang clash. Well, if you legalize marijuana and drugs and stabilize economies, built the super cities and the super highways, things would get better. But if you, not you, like, people don't have a lot of power, man. Like, even the, as was mentioned the other day, even the people who are supposed to have the, like, middle class jobs, if they can't go more than a week or two without missing a paycheck, then our economy is in bad shape when it comes to the people. Yeah, my future wife ended up marrying a pink elephant. Star Trek. And that's what you gotta do, man. If you want to explore space and have all the cool shit, then the whole world's gotta get together. Oh fuck, Cranky's back. Yeah, so the storm is crazy. And, you know, there's a chance we're gonna have earthquakes and shit. Volcanoes and shit. You know, they sell stuff that's over $1 at the dollar store. I don't know if you guys have been. Oh, that's a colorful map. Good job, Crankster. That almost looks like those, you know, when the ice cream truck comes by and they have those crazy pops. That's what it looks like to me. We're gonna get a blast. Wait a second. See it? There's your Mega Monster Massive Storm. There's your Sun Snap Cracker Poplin. That almost looks like an X. Another thing, we had an asteroid 0 lunar distance doesn't mean it hit us. You know, and it's called AS or AS5. But 5 is the hacker S, I do believe. They won't confirm it because there's honor among thieves. Okay. Magnetic unrest expected. A new stream of solar wind is approaching Earth. It is flowing from a southern hole in the sun's atmosphere. The stream's grazing impact on January 12th and 13th will likely stir magnetic unrest around Earth's poles, but not full-fledged geomagnetic storms. Arctic auroras are possible this weekend. And technically, I think we've had auroras for, and that counts as a coronal hole. Oh, yeah. We've had auroras and coronal holes almost nonstop. And then knocked loose and clouds are back. A lone sundog. And there I was. A lone sundog. Why would he say that? There's two of them. What a goober. Man, the sun is so cool. Oh, it was double lens flare, probably. What was I doing? I think I hit the wrong button. Yeah, if you're just joining us, we found some wacky film in action. Popping off in almost all quadrants of the sun. When the sun acts weird, Earth weather acts weird, and then people act weird. Do you love me? And so yeah, the storm, as we're talking about in this parade of storms, in this wave after wave after wave pattern, it's gonna be getting juicy. Super juicy. Hey, give me my shiz, man. There you go. So this is the next storm. Now it's got its face already in British Columbia. But then it will wrap its tail down into Baja all the way up. And then this will be the one that will follow. And then the moisture stream will, at least. And then what will happen after that? Who knows? But we'll have to stay tuned. But this thing is, yep, it's one of the most impressive ones I've seen. I gotta go find my sense of humor. That almost looks like Jupiter's eye. It does look like Jupiter's eye. Yeah, sure, I'm a little disappointed because they were all like, yay, NASA solar probe. And they sent us like one photograph. And it's been there for a while. Same thing with Jupiter. He was like, man, it's gonna be like, you're gonna be sitting on your couch and when we go to Jupiter with your iPhone. And it'll just be like videotaping stuff with your iPhone. And I'm like, well, as far as I know, the iPhone takes 60 frames a second. I don't think we've seen 60 frames a second anything. And the iPhone can capture something for like 2 hours. I mean, can you imagine if they videotaped Jupiter for 2 straight hours at 60 frames a second? I bet that'd be a sight to see. But no, we're still stuck in the 1900s with oil and war. Hopefully that shit's gonna change because all the planet's direct now. Maybe when I get my sense of humor back and somehow believe that there is a chance at romance in this crazy future, then we'll start moving forward again. I guess I'm gonna, I don't know, it's a lot of rain, 10 to 20 inches all around. I just can't even stop looking at it. It's this eclipse energy, man. Alright, did anybody even show up? Boom. Whoa. Hey guys. Anybody here? What the heck? Stop it, Thor. Okay. What I missed? Thor, take your medication, bro. You are off your rocker. Fake. See, this is the. My hackers have been messing with me all day, all night. So I knew that they'd be in here talking shit. It's weird. It's weird to think that they're dudes. To think that like dudes are that focused on me all the time. I mean, granted, I think a lot about Selena Gomez and Ariana Grande and Emma Watson, but A, they sing a lot, so you can listen to their music, and B, I've never been married. I don't have any kids, so one day, I would like to. So it's okay to, I've been fantasized about them. I admit. When other dudes are focused on me, it's like weird, and I don't mean that in like a it's like they're in love with me. It's like they're anti in love with me. It's like, what the hell did I do, bro? You know? See, he's just talking shit the whole time. I think hackers get mad because nobody ever knows how powerful they really are. So they have to go around knowing that they're so powerful, but they can never tell anybody. Thank you, Slightly Slanted Sleuth, for the truth. I appreciate it. What is even going on? Why is my audio all weird? Well, I was trying not to talk about the fact that, like, yesterday when I woke up, my power was off, and I got hackers fucking with me all the time. It looks like we've got massive atmospheric instability. The whole nation is arguing over a wall. Brexit has no idea what's going on. It's a crazy time, and I've been doing this for a long time, so I don't know, man. You know? Something is wrong. It's Thorn News, you were fucking strung out, buddy. Thanks, John. You mean because a couple days ago when I called this bombogenesis storm? Yeah, and I don't know why But like I said, this is a group. They're a group of people. Um, and they're obsessed. Yeah, no, they keep stepping it up, and they were really mad when I made it this month, and they're really mad now, and they're really mad all the time. And they get really mad when I say that Earth's core naturally produces oil. But like Albert Pike said, they would unleash the nihilist. This guy's wacko. Yeah, I guess I've been talking about the storms that are coming in for 2 weeks. Uh, yeah, Selena was born in Texas. Seems like a cool person. I love her music. No, but this is good because that's why I haven't been edited. Like they've been fucking with me all night and like even in the morning, and they're just adamant. And so I knew that I would let it up for a while and let them do their thing to kind of get an idea of who it is and what they're up to. You know? It's weird. The stream is like. Yeah, they hacked my audio settings. They did it to Astrolata the other day. And like I said, they've been fucking with me ever since they found out I made it. They've been very upset. So that's partly why I'm gonna run for president, just so I can get an extra layer of protection. Yeah, my audio, like I said, that I think they have been messing with my audio settings. I'm gonna have to watch it. I know the stream was like 2 hours. I just want to get a list of this. Yeah, I'm gonna try and talk slower. I gotta check out the audio settings. Be right back.